Come on to my kitchen. Matt Buon was in my kitchen 2 years ago on Thanksgiving and gave me this awesome Stony Brook cap. But George Carlin said, any guy that wears a baseball cap backwards after he's 12 years old is a loser. So there you go, George. I'm wearing the hat today because you don't want to see my hair right now. So today I'm doing a pasta dish that's unbelievably delicious and more unbelievably simple to make. First had this from my uncle Vincenzo, or Uncle Jimmy as we called him, and it's been one of my favorites ever since. I do make it frequently. I'm trying to chill on the pasta consumption, but I'll never be a teetotaler. I love macaroni. So let's go over and see what we need for this dish. You're not going to believe how simple it is. Pasta with broccoli. Look how simple. Garlic, broccoli. Somebody posted this meme online. So this is a good way to use up that broccoli that's been sitting in your fridge for a couple days. Pepperoncini, you can use your crushed red pepper flakes. I like these little Thai bird chilies. I dry them. You can hang the whole plant at the end of the summer and dry it. Wait till they're fully dried and put them in a glass jar. And there's your crushed red pepper when you need it. Nice and fresh. Orecchiette. You can use any pasta you want. I like orecchiette with broccoli. A little bit of chicken stock, and of course Parmigiano Reggiano. That's it. That's the whole dish. Alright, so I'm going to start by smashing my garlic, and this is something that I never knew, that I learned out of the great book Eating on the Wild Side by Joe Robinson. Garlic, we all know, promotes good health, right? But here's the thing. When you heat it, you can ruin those health-giving properties unless you wait 10 minutes after you smash it, cut it, chop it. And the reason being, the allicin, which is the beneficial component in the garlic, is activated. There's two components in the garlic, alliin and alliinase. Right? And it's almost like, think of those epoxy glues you get, right? We have to smash the little plastic bead and then they mix and form the glue. That's what happens in the garlic. Once I crush this, those two components, the alliin and the alliinase, will react with each other to form the allicin, which is what we want. But if I heat this up too soon, I'll kill that reaction. So, when you're going to use garlic in your cooked dishes, chop it and give it a 10-minute rest before you put it in the frying pan. Okay? So let's move on over to the stove and let this garlic rest. Alright, got some nice water at a hard roll and boil. I'm going to cook the orecchiette in there. It's already salted, but first I'm going to blanch the broccoli. I cut off the big stems and saved them. Those go in the juicer. So I'm going to just cook off this broccoli, a little bit of a blanch. I'm going to spoon it out because I want to leave that water for the orecchiette. And I'll cook this, I don't know, it's more or less a blanch. I'll cook it for a minute, maybe two. Okay, I cooked that for about 2 minutes in that boiling water. Now I'm going to spoon it out with this slotted spoon. Now, if this was a presentation dish where this was going on a salad or something like that, I would shock this broccoli in ice water. That would just set that bright green color. But it's going to cook for a while. I don't bother with that with this dish. It's been almost 10 minutes. That garlic's been sitting out. Now I'm going to do a little pepperoncini. These Thai birds, they pack a punch. You don't need a lot. But so good. There you go. There's your crushed red pepper. Pizza I like to give it a whiff. Yeah, see, when you crack that actual pepper, as opposed to having the flakes sitting in a jar on your shelf for months, that's the way to go. Okay, I got my pan on, extra virgin olive oil. Be generous with the oil. The broccoli likes it. I got a flame under this pan, but I just turned it on. I like to, along the lines of that, what I was talking about the garlic, it's been resting for 10 minutes, so I think we got some Allison. My aim is true here. So I like to add the garlic also when the oil's still cold, and let it warm up, the oil and the garlic together. I feel like it gently draws out more goodness. Alright, got a nice sizzle going. I'm going to turn this down. You don't want to burn your garlic. You want to toast it lightly. Pepperoncini going in. Smells amazing. Garlic and olive oil. I'm watching this garlic perfectly. I don't want it to brown, but I want to coax it as much as possible just before I throw in my broccoli. And it's looking like it's just about time. A little bit of salt. You know what? I actually forgot something. Can't believe it. But it's never too late. Anchovy paste to the rescue. Just going to squeeze a little bit in there. I would have added that in the beginning into the oil with the garlic, or actual anchovy fillets and smash them up. But I used all the fillets for episode 008. But always great to have a jar of the paste in the fridge. Oh yeah, there's just that little bit of the anchovy paste with the garlic. It's a key ingredient. I should have had that out on the board to begin with. Please accept my apology. Cracked pepper, garlic and anchovy. It's incredible. And now I can add my chicken stock. And that's basically your sauce. Now I'm going to put a cover on this. I'm going to turn it down and let it simmer very gently. This is not stir fry with broccoli. I'm going to cook this stuff until it's almost falling apart. Soft, gooey, and delicious. You'll see at the end. I'll see you back here in a while. This cooks for a while. I'd say 20 minutes, maybe even a half hour. Okay, this is just a little interlude. This has nothing to do with the recipe that we're cooking today specifically, but I need to wait for the broccoli anyway, so it's as good a time as any. And you know, I film these things by myself in my kitchen, little camera on a tripod, and if you watched all the shows, you know, you'll hear things like Beatrice walking around when her claws need cutting. You'll hear her lapping up water, and there's always some outtakes I need to get rid of, if a dog barks or a car horn, stuff like that. So I'm in here filming and I just heard a big thud on the front porch. Had to stop the shot actually. So I turned off the camera, went to the porch, and there goes the UPS guy driving away, and there's a box on the porch. Well, I just opened it. It's from my old pal down in the west coast of Florida. I sent him some limoncello a few years ago, and his note said he needed to return the bottles. So returned them full. Big guy, not necessary. The bottles were yours, but not unappreciated. So now the thing is with this, I I need to throw these in the freezer, and it's just starting to warm up, so beautiful timing. So I'll put them in the freezer, provided they're worth keeping. You know, I might have to just pour them down the sink. So let's find out what the deal is with this stuff here. Salute, my brother. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to keep it. Herbs are going to be growing soon. Back at you, brother. Thank you. Okay, here we go, the moment of truth. You see that broccoli? This ain't no crunchy stir-fry takeout broccoli. And that's why I don't bother with the shocking process. That would have changed color like that whether I shocked it green or not. It just cooks for too long. That's like a soup sauce. So I'm going to throw in my orecchiette, the same water that I cooked the broccoli in. Brought back up to a boil. Love these pasta, little ears, orecchiette, because you see those little sort of almost bowls. They pick up this. That's the other reason why you want to cook this broccoli down. Let's give it a taste. You see how it's almost like a, I don't know, a porridge or something. But that gets in those little bowl areas of the orecchiette. Just kind of sits in there. Oh, damn. You can't believe the umami flavor that happens when you cook broccoli this long. Slow, low, anchovy, garlic, pepperoncini, and I'm going to cook in. I've had it just literally at the lowest, just keeping it warm while I was waiting for the pasta water to come back. Of course, you serve the Parmigiano Reggiano to put over the top when you eat it, but I like to cook a little right into the dish. So I'm going to raise up the heat just a little. And now that that pasta has been in that salted water for a minute or two, it's already starting to give off some starch. So I'm going to take a little of that pasta water. And what this does, there's some starch in there now. So as I heat this back up, it's going to thin it a little and start to bind it. Almost like an emulsifier, that starch from the pasta. See, you wouldn't recognize that as broccoli. It's like a soup. Now I cooked 8 ounces, half the box of the macaroni, for 2 reasons. One, I had the 2 heads of broccoli and I wanted to use them, so I wanted enough pasta to go in there. But also, I figured, and this is the dangerous part, I figure I have a portion for lunch tomorrow, but I don't know, this is the danger, and this is my problem with pasta. Whole freaking half-pound I could eat tonight, you never know. Once I start with this stuff, I can't stop. My taste buds take over. It's a real problem, I'm telling you. That's why I try to only do macaroni once a week. Okay, let me try one of these orecchiette. "45 seconds to a minute." That's what the term al dente means. To the tooth. It's the only way to know when it's ready. Yeah, less than a minute. Okay, it's pretty al dente. But I'm going to spoon it in with this slotted spoon. And here's another reason. I want to keep it al dente, but I want to cook it in that broccoli a little. Because when this comes out of this water, it's released its starch. It'll just suck that sauce and juice right in, back into the pasta. So I'm going to cook it in here for another couple of minutes or a minute or so. And the other nice thing, well, there's 2 things. One, with the slotted spoon, is, you know, who needs a colander? Then you got to clean that, and then you got to dump the water out. I'll let that cool. I'll water my plants with that water. And sometimes I might even cook another batch of pasta, but that's not happening tonight. But the most important reason of all of those is, again, you see, the orecchiette it's got a little bit of water sitting in it. So the same deal. That's good starch pasta water. It's going to help it bind, emulsify with this sauce. I think I got them all. So see, now I want to actually crank the heat up a little. I'm going to get my bigger spoon. See, this pasta, al dente out of the water, is now just drinking up this broccoli sauce. All right, let's plate some of this up and see what the heck's going on around here. Turn the heat off. It's a healthy portion, right? Hey, you know what? I plated this up. I was going to eat inside. But today was the first day of 2021 where it was really like spring is coming to zone 5. Little Parmigiano Reggiano. I can't think of a better way for my first al fresco supper of this year. Orecchiette con broccoli. This is one of the most delicious things ever. I've made this for people. If you grew up in an Italian house, you've probably had this. But I've made it for people who, what? Macaroni with broccoli? Sounds weird, right? I've had some people almost fall on the floor the first time they tasted this. Saluti e buon appetito. And to quote an old, back in the late 70s in Florida, I used to watch a guy called Justin Wilson cooking on TV. Some of you might remember him. So this is not my line, it's the late great Justin's. But he used to say, as regards wine pairing, the kind of wine you drink with this dish here is the kind that you like. You can do the same thing with broccoli rabe too, or broccolini. But that's a completely different dish. There's something about the sweetness of the broccoli when it cooks down like that. It's unbelievable. And this was from the market. When you cut that broccoli from the dirt out there and get it in that water and in that frying pan within 15 minutes, you'll go to heaven, man. Alright, thanks for coming to my kitchen. And on to my patio, al fresco 2021. Saluti. We'll catch you for the next episode.